I have people in my inbox and they're like, Pastor, where are you? Where are you? Where you at? Well, the reason why I didn't come on this morning is because this
She was
man,
supporting her husband.
yes,
I was feeling bad.
yes, a Latino M is saying good morning. And so it's about 11 o'clock or a little thereafter. And so I want to say to you, allergy sufferers,
I won't let her do it no more though.
no, you kind of still sound a little
That's all
nasally.
right. No.
Yeah, it's allergy season. Inspiration Cafe, self care. I believe self. I can't. Let me put on some glasses. Um, Elder Michelle just went up the timeline, and so forgive me, but I can't say sorry because I have a responsibility that sits here to the left. And so to my husband, I'm glad you're feeling better.
I'm feeling better.
All of you allergy sufferers, you guys are having it really bad.
This it, yeah.
This is the season for allergy. Please understand that everything is not COVID related. There's some people that really just suffer from really bad allergies. Hello, Romania. How are you, LMA? Or LMA or LMM. I got to get your name down correctly because she, there are people that are logging from all over the world. And so, Romania, God bless you. How are you? Someone said, I look refreshed. So, because my husband has really bad allergies, not just him, Dylan has bad allergies, Hunter has bad allergy, Dewan, hello Trinidad, how
All
are
the
you?
kids
All of the children have
in the house.
allergies.
Yeah.
And so this is what it is. And so the man was outside and he was cutting down, I think he cut down the
He was
tree.
cutting the yard. I walked out there while he was.
Cutting,
Oh,
yeah, he was cutting down the tree. So someone said, take honey along with the allergy. He does that. And so the man was cutting down the tree. And when he was cutting down the tree, all of the pollen that was in the tree was
hit me
all
right in the
over the place.
face.
And it just bowed and hit
It
him in
hit
the
me in the
face.
face.
And so I thank God that he is okay to each and every one of you. We get ready to have a dialogue, and I want to say, someone said, I'm suffering from allergies now. So, everyone that's suffering from allergies right now, give an emoji with a teardrop. If you're suffering from allergy, give an emoji with a teardrop because that means you are included in this number. Bam. Look, it's a whole lot of them. See, YouTubers you can't see, but
Yeah.
Facebookers can.
Yeah.
The YouTubers, look, baby, the
I
YouTubers
see
are
him. They
going up the
coming up quick.
timeline, and the Facebookers. So you do that. You point to them, and I point to there. So here
Yeah.
you guys go. Is that way,
Is
baby?
that way?
Yeah, it's that way. That way is for the YouTubers, and
Okay, this
for
way is
this
for the.
look, this way is
Okay.
for the
Look
Facebookers,
at that. That's crazy, right?
and this way is for the YouTubers. So we
Yeah.
got both of you. We got all
Yeah.
of you in prayer. So everyone is suffering from allergies. And so we're praying for you guys, all of you who are suffering. Someone said, I've had Apostle, my allergies in 24. I couldn't read what Antoinette was saying, but I'm saying to you all, we are praying for you
Yeah.
dearly because it is so uncomfortable, Shanae. You was
But
uncomfortable.
you know what I tell you? It's making me take it a little more serious, and I'm gonna look for natural herbs.
Natural herb. You
Hmm.
woke up yesterday and you was like,
I hate it.
and
I what you know. I hate to be sick any kind of way.
right, but the way you woke up,
Ugh.
your whole face was like,
Trying to bring it together, I couldn't get it together.
yeah. So this is what I did. I took some time. Someone said I'm having surgery on Monday. Charmaine D. Johnson, I'll be praying for you. We're praying for Tanya. We're praying for Tamika. We're praying for everyone who asks me to pray because what I do is I go to your page and I lay
Amen.
hands on the page. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Terry Thompson. Terry, twirl, Terry, twirl. You
Happy
twirl.
birthday, Terry.
I know you twirling now. You're nasty. I can say that because they're our friends. I know you're twirling now. You and Corey, you're nasty. And so they're celebrating her birthday. We'll be celebrating. Someone said a model couple. Thank you so much, Miss Gambrell. We are honored to do that. Someone is calling us the GOAT. Great of all times. We're honored, Molly. Thank you to all
Honor.
of you. And so
Seriously.
we get ready to have a dialogue. In the dialogue, we want you to share with someone because we get ready to blow your mind about knowledge because knowledge is power. And so we're going to give you a little bit of it. In the comment section or before you logged on, we put something up and it says, I understand what you are saying. What did we put up?
Uh,
I understand what you're
yeah, I
saying.
see what you're saying.
I see what you're saying.
Hmm.
I need everyone to put up a red flag
Yeah,
right
I
now.
see what you're saying.
I see what you're saying. Thank you,
Hmm.
baby. Put up a red flag right now. That means the Facebookers, the YouTubers, please, right now. Someone said, I'm praying for healing. I had a mini stroke. Inspire self care. We're praying for you. In fact, I had two of them in my life. And so you had what you call a TIA. That's what those are. So we thank you that you're here. So the YouTubers are putting up the red flag. The Facebook, could you please put up a red flag? We're going to blow your mind about that little thing that you just put up the timeline. It's called a red flag. All of you who are single, all of you who are married, all of you that are fellowshipping, everyone that is doing anything, you have to pay attention to the very thing that you just put in the comment section. Happy birthday, Miss Neely. If you put a red flag up, I wish that we could have a dialogue like we did last night. And I asked you, what are some of the red flags that you saw?
Yeah.
Someone put it in the comment section. I'm gonna show you something. What are some of the red flags that you saw connecting with people? Someone need to put it up. Let me hear it. I can read it, and so can Fred. We both got on glasses. What are some of the red flags that you saw in the middle of you fellowshipping, getting married, having a friendship? No matter what it was, you saw a red flag. Someone said the lies.
The lies.
Okay, someone said the
Bad
lies.
with money.
Bad with money. Okay.
Inconsistency.
Uh-huh.
Lack of communication.
Uh-huh.
Excuses.
Uh-huh.
Too controlling. Facebook coming with it. I mean, YouTube's fast.
Control.
Arrogance.
Trifling.
Maturity.
Selfishness. Closed body language. There you go. We
That's
on
good
something.
one. Gaslighting.
Gaslighting.
Clinging.
Selfishness.
Too clingy.
Lies, abusive.
Okay. Immature.
Always boring. Bad attitude. Hesitation, rebellious, double poor listening, jealousy. Good God today. Stealing, gambling.
Don't want to work. Dang.
Woo, talking about their ex a lot. Spiritual. So YouTubers are bringing it on.
Yeah, they. Whew.
Okay. So I'm going to show you something. Everyone, laziness, sneaky.
Manipulation.
Inconsistency. Never taking accountability. Everyone stealing, girl. Yeah, double-mindedness. Yeah. Finances. So everyone who is going up your timeline, you are putting up red flags that you did not hear, you saw it. And that's why red flags is not what you say. It's what you see.
Yeah, it's what you see.
And that's why we've titled this, what, baby? I see what you're saying. Because people pay attention to red flags by what you say. But it's not. It's what you see behind what they say. It literally is an action behind someone that spoke something to your ears that was not lining up to what they said they were going to do. Someone said, "Ooh, that's good. My God, this is the whole truth." Whenever you're getting involved with anybody on any level of playing field, it's what they, what? Say it again, baby.
I see what you're saying.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
And even though they said they love you, I see you didn't, because you didn't follow through with what you were saying.
Yeah, you were consistent.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. No, I see what you're saying, because they said they were going to do it and their actions did not state the truth behind what they told you. And that's why red flags is not what you say. It's what you see behind what they say. Did we get it now? Okay, people are starting to tag people now. And I'm normally on at 7:30 and I'll be back, but I had to send to my husband. You must be very careful when you are getting involved with people who do not line up from what they've spoken over your life to you as an individual, or whatever connection you're trying to make. I recently was talking to a young lady and we were having a dialogue and it broke my heart. What broke my heart is that in counseling this young lady, in fact, I got a counseling appointment at 12 o'clock, she began to hold her heart. She began to hold her heart, husband, because she began to get discombobulated and upset because he said it.
Ooh.
He said. And so as I was discussing this situation, or the conundrum of confusion, they were upset because the person did not follow through of what they said. But what she did is she banked on his word. She banked on his word because she was saying to herself, he's going to follow through. But because she desired something, she avoided seeing the red flags and she trusted what he said. And that's why, yeah, I see what you say. I see what you say because most people are not showing you the action behind what they're saying. They're giving you the truth of the lies they're bringing, but your flesh won't receive what they're saying because you're taking what they're giving you as face value.
Right. With no proof.
Go ahead. The proof is in the pudding, they say. Go ahead, Fred.
And well, the thing about, I'm looking at all these shows, y'all. So
You sure is. You keeping us up. Fred don't just watch a series. He watched the entire series in one day.
and one thing I see that's happening with men, and you got there's some things that I have coming, but there's some things that I see with men. Sometimes men will say in the moment what they feel they should say for a person to get out of a person. My first question would be this: is when you saw it, where did you go from there? When you saw the red flag, did you just continue? And what I saw was when people saw red flags, they just continued on the path as if it wasn't a red flag. If you see a red flag, and it's called a red flag because it's where you put the point down.
And
there.
it really wants your attention.
Right?
It's like flashing.
Yeah, right. It's a red flag. It warrants your attention. You stick it in the ground. And anytime that you stick something in the ground and it becomes a red flag, that's where you deal with it at.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
So because and this is not an all men thing, but men do that. YouTube just had all of these immaturity, inconsistency, stealing. When you see some things is just an automatic cut it off. Right? Some things a woman can help. I love what was said last night at Bible study about a young man. He was talking about his wife, and he was like, how he came out of the military, and there were some things that she had to help him through.
Right.
Right? So there are some things that the wife can help a man through. Fiance or somebody that you're seriously dating can help you through.
Okay.
And help you develop and help you to grow. But stealing, when you start seeing stealing, if you start seeing aggression, right? You start seeing abusive language. Some things, baby, you just got to, and if that is one of the red flags, you don't try to stay until you see it or you say that's going to disappear. No, you have to deal with that right there.
I think sometimes you got to be very mindful too that when you're in relationships with anybody, if someone says that they never done anything or this is the first time I've done this, you have to watch the history behind what they're saying.
Yeah.
Because we always said, and I think it was Bishop Jackson said, marriage is a collision of two histories, or relationship is a collision of two histories. Whenever you have two histories coming together, trying to formulate something, there are red flags. And people will tell you they've never done that before.
Right.
But there's a history behind what they say because they told you in passing something that you overlooked because you wanted something so bad.
Yeah.
Never want something so bad until you avoid the red flag.
Yeah.
Mic drop. Never want something so bad until you avoid the red flag. I'm going to say it again. I hope they put hashtag CCM Nation under it. Please stop stealing the stuff. Never want something so bad until you avoid the red flag. Go ahead, baby.
I want to say this because I don't want you to take a red flag as something that we need to that we need to hurry up, that you need to cut it off.
Somebody. Go and tag somebody.
Click, tag, and share.
No, baby, depending on what it is.
No, let me finish.
Okay, Baba. Okay.
Some red flags can be dealt with. That's what I want to get out of this.
Okay, specifically.
That's why if you see immaturity, if you see something, but it's not an immaturity in every area. Like it's not, but it's something that's just piercing.
Right.
Some things you can deal with. Some red flags are something that you need to cut off.
Okay.
But I'm saying this because I don't want you to hear us and say, "Oh, let me go. I got to slice this off."
Okay.
Because some people have different problems, and because your history have been people that have hurt you, then sometimes anything is a red flag.
So red flags can
you got to be defined. You got to define it.
Okay, so red flags can make you sensitive in getting connected to other people because of what the red flag did to you.
Yeah.
Okay, red flag are supposed to make you smart
Yeah.
or smarter.
Yes.
I think that
I agree.
sometimes when you deal with people who have control issues, those are red flag that you're getting into something that you're not
Yes.
ready for. And
Yes.
they may tell you,
Now I like
"Oh,
that
I've never
example.
been I've never been controlling. Well, I was controlling with this individual because." What you need to do is pay attention to what they say. So you can say, "Oh, okay, I can understand what you mean."
Yeah.
Because they'll slip up somewhere within having this dialogue.
It's gonna come out.
It's gonna come out one way or
Yeah, it's
another.
gonna come
And
out.
so, no, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
And so you have to see what a person means, what comes out of their mouth, whether it's the truth or not. Because a lot of times we miss it because we are taking what they say. I've never been controlling with anybody, but that's not what you seen when you went down the street and you met somebody that said, "Oh, they was involved with this joker and they was always like that." Go over there and then they start giving you this conundrum of stuff that you overlook because you are saying to yourself, "No, they did that with them because he told me." He
Yeah.
told me. Be careful when everybody comes with, "He told me that he never did it." Well, he told me. And it kind of breaks my heart when people are crying. Travis Malloy, what's up, bruh? He just got in my inbox. Booyah, we
Travis
representing
Malloy.
Travis Malloy, millions, billions, trillions. And so you people, you're not paying attention. But before you even think about what you're going to pay attention to your red flags
Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
Your red flags
I love
matter.
that.
No.
Yeah.
Pay attention to your red flags first. That means it's just like the therapist said yesterday in church. You have to know your triggers. Because anytime you've experienced a red flag and you get into something else and you see those red flags waving in another situation, it's either that person is reminding you of the red flag or you are the red flag.
Yeah. And in some cases, you have to find. I'm glad we're talking about that
Friends
because
too.
I think we go. All of us go. If you go into a new relationship, let's get this. There is no way you're gonna go into a new relationship. You're coming out of because you have a history,
Yeah.
and you coming in. You're two different people. There is no way that two people are going to come together and something is not going to remind.
Okay.
We're not talking about what reminds. We're talking about action. We're talking about action. We're talking about things that you see and what have happened. If you were a person that dealt with a person that was controlling, narcissistic, and you anywhere kind of feel like the person that you're getting involved with is the same way, it ain't gonna work.
Someone, you
It
guys can
ain't gonna
ask
work.
your questions because we're going to read them. Someone said, "Can you avoid seeing the red flags?" No, you cannot. The only time you avoid seeing red flags is if you want something so bad.
Yeah.
The only time you want to avoid the red flags is if you're desperate for something that you must have. Sometimes you want something so bad, you know it's it's bat blind red crazy,
Yeah. And you
but
willing to go
yet
through
still you're
anything.
willing to go through it anyway. Have you ever dated somebody, or have you ever been involved with someone and they gave you a warning and they said, "Baby, you better not do that"? They gave you a warning. They got a track record. These people that you're connected to, they got a track record of being slanderous, cheaters, liars, bamboozlers, whatever it is that you heard from someone else. 9 times out of 10, it's only a matter of time for you to experience it because a leopard does not change its spots.
It's something you said last night that you were talking and you said that if you're involved with a person and that person has you belong to that person. Let's just say it like that. It's your spouse.
Like you belong to
And
me.
yeah, in any context, you have a right to search their history.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got a right. So if the history says a certain thing, then you can take that history and you can apply it. But if the history is not there, then you got to look at yourself.
Right.
If the history is not there,
Right.
right? Because then I may have some triggers.
Right.
I may still have some things that I have not dealt with. If the history is not there, and I say with any red flag, make sure that make sure it's in their history. Make sure it's something because I see this. You say I see this because there are times. One thing about it, I'm a man, right? And by me being a man, men have men traits. I can easily do something, say something, and it may not be intentionally what I was trying to say or whatever, and it could remind my wife of something. But the good thing about communication says, I felt something right there. And then I'm able to say, oh, this is what that was.
Mm-hmm.
But when the communication is not there and something happens like that, all you do is you go into this dive pit in your head and in your mind, and then you kind of start carving out what it is without talking. Communication is going to be key. Now, some of these red flags, though, and I'm going to say this again because I feel it. Anytime that there's abuse, anytime that there's abuse, anytime that there is controlling, anytime that there's narcissism, baby, run.
You look like a snack. You look like a whole snack. I'm sorry, y'all. You look like a whole snack. A whole Hershey Kisses.
How about a Snickers
Yeah, I'll take that
with
for sure.
almonds?
Amen. Glory to God. He was saying something, and even though I was smitten by him, um, how many times should you, when should you not, when should you address the many times the flag waves?
That couldn't be what she said.
She said background checks don't
No,
hurt.
no, 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 no. I don't even want to repeat that. Keep going, baby.
No, what she said. What she said.
You know, I had to be reading that wrong. I am not going to repeat that, baby.
Oh, okay.
Keep going.
It wasn't relative to us.
No, it was. No, it wasn't.
Because I'm going
I
back.
think she would probably say something that somebody tried to do to her.
Somebody put it in my inbox. Go
Yeah, yeah,
give me
yeah.
the tea. Let me know. But I think red flags are meant to wave.
Yeah,
So flags go like
yeah,
this.
yeah,
They wave,
yeah. They're a
right?
symbol of what's there.
Right. They wave. They go
Yeah.
back and forth, back and forth. The question that I have for everybody is, when do you address the times you catch people in a lie? The times you find them.
Oh, yeah.
So if the flag is waving like this, you caught them lying the first time. Do you address it? Yes, you do. But what happens when you see the flag waving several times? How many times should you address the flag waving before you have had enough?
Yeah.
That's the pertinent question. So I'm asking this question because so many people, they see the flag waving, but they avoid addressing it the first time. 1,147 people. Thank you, Patricia Frank. How many times would you address? Someone said 3 strikes and you're out.
Mm.
3 strikes and you're out. So if that is the case, Michelle said, Coach D
That's
said,
what it said. 3 strikes.
3 strikes and you're out. The question that I have for y'all is, why is it that there are people going up the timeline that's saying they've been in it for 3 years? It's the same thing. 4 years, it's the same thing. 5 years. One girl went up the timeline and she said 17 years of the same thing. She saw the red flags. Now she's stuck in where it stays.
Ooh.
So what do you do? Do you take a shot in addressing the red flags before you get married, or you really want to take a chance because you believe you could change them? One girl just said 23 years of a red flag. Somebody said 2 years. How many times do you let the red flag wave?
That's a
Let's
lot.
talk.
That's a long time. Sometimes, not gonna say sometimes. If it's been 3-4 years,
Okay.
maybe y'all not compatible.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's if it's because it's got to be a red flag that you dealing with.
But Cooper.
It might be something that
Cooper Ruck said the first time I'm out. But I disagree with that. I disagree. I think when it comes down to abuse, I'm out.
abuse definitely.
Nah, no,
Yeah.
hands down. You do not deal
Yeah.
with abuse. Mental abuse, verbal abuse, sexual abuse, you don't deal with that. You are out, period. But I believe that sometimes when you have a flag that's waving and someone unfortunately did not tell the truth, I don't believe, a lie won't tarry in God's sight and hopefully never in yours. But I believe that you have to get an understanding what happened.
Yeah.
Because if I say like the story we was watching the shows that you got us all
Mm-hmm.
watching.
Don't act like you ain't. Don't act
No, baby, I'm enjoying it.
Okay.
It's the last one, right?
Yeah, with new season coming up.
Oh Lord, okay. But if you say we're gonna go out to dinner,
Right.
and all of a sudden the plans change, and you can't say, well, you said we were going, I was here dressed up, and we was dressed up, and I was all ready to go. First, you need to get the facts first. Check the Carfax. You have to say, I need to get an understanding as to what happened.
Yeah.
And if they say, I had a family emergency or something didn't work out with me financially, my car didn't start, then it's not an excuse. It's a reason. Not that they lied, that they could not follow through with what they promised or said. I believe you have to examine the flags before you throw in the towel. I'm going to say it again, mic drop. Examine the flag before you throw in the towel. Because it
I
may
like
not,
that,
yeah,
baby.
examine the flag
Examine the flag.
before you throw in the towel.
I would, you know what? I wish I could have. That's exactly what I was trying to say.
I know, Baba. It's
Okay.
okay. You got a little nasally today.
I'm a little nice.
I did you did it today. So I think that what happens is the word of God says, with all you're getting, get an understanding. And I think you have to get an understanding. Get an understanding about what happened to cause you not to follow through in your word. You know what? Get an understanding, because there's some people. Unfortunately, life is gonna happen.
You gotta understand you too.
Okay, so you got to understand what
You
you're
gotta
gonna deal with and
understand
what you
yourself.
can't.
Yeah,
Explain that,
yeah.
Baba.
I mean, after you have gone through, and there's some of you that don't want to get into anything serious. These people come all the time because you to come to a place where you don't want to deal with nothing. You have to understand yourself when you're coming into a relationship. Are you patient enough? Are you patient enough to merge into one soul?
Wow.
When you talking about marriage, and you talking about, this is your fiance or spouse, are you patient enough to become one with somebody? Because to become one with somebody, we have to come into one another's consistencies, inconsistencies. We have to come into one. We have to come into one with all that. And sometimes you may have to admit that you're not patient enough. I mean, it's just like you got one person that says, "Hey, they do something one time, they out." Coach D say 3 times, you out. You have to know what's your line.
Yeah.
Where does your patience lie? Because you're gonna have to have patience, and we're in a microwave society. If it doesn't happen quick, if it doesn't look like that quick, if he doesn't change quick, if she doesn't change quick, then I'm out. And that's coming from your history. Because in your history, you dealt with, like somebody said, I dealt with that for 12 years. I dealt with that for 17 years. I dealt with that for 20 something years. Now, I will say that sometimes that's a sign of incompatibility. I can say that with all knowledge. You were with the wrong person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But if you're with the right person, and it's really not that serious, it's going to take some time. It's going to take some patience.
We're watching these shows, and we're gonna, I want you to click tag and share somebody, because we just gonna go a little bit deep. We're gonna dive in a little bit. We deal with all people from all walks of life all over the world, and we are blessed to do that. But what I find myself, because I speak to a lot of women who are all over the world, and my husband speaks to men. What I find is you have to have a tolerance level in the flag. You have to have a tolerance level. And it's just like Cord Franklin Jr. said, what's your deal breaker? You got to find out, what is your deal breaker? What are you willing to deal with? What are you willing to sacrifice? But I want you to understand this. You got to know within yourself that there's certain things that I have to work on before I get connected to someone that has some flags. Because what you're going to do is you might run a good person off because the flags have hurt you.
Yeah.
If the flags has hurt you, you're going to be in trouble, because the slightest wave of one, you going to go off. Now, I'm just saying.
Lemonade, what you say, baby? Lemonade
Process,
and razor blades.
yeah, razor
lemon-
blades and lemon juice is coming. Oftentimes, what happens in any situation, just tell the people what show we watching. Ready for Love?
Yeah, Ready for Love.
Ready for Love. I'm going to just talk about it, and that is the bottom line. We're watching this show on OWN
I
called
need to be one of the hosts on there.
and you do. You really do. Should we need a show of our
I can
own?
talk to them. I can talk to them. I can talk to them brothers. I done heard them say some of the dumbest things in the world.
No, to be honest, we need a show of our own.
We
Amen.
coming.
We
coming,
claim it in the
baby.
name of Jesus.
In
However,
Jesus' name.
the women had to be in a room with men and find someone compatible. They had to do this. They had to find someone compatible. So you had to go through a plethora of individual conversations to see if this is going to be a match. To see if it's going to be a match. Unfortunately, a lot of women messed up because they were being too forceful.
Yeah.
They were being so forceful instead of just chilling and let the magic happen.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I think a lot of times what happens in your search for the needle, you mess up because of the red flags.
Yeah.
That if you, I mean, one girl went off. She was the one that had on all the jewelry, and she said she was going off. She was going off, and he just made one assessment of her. And because the red flag was waving in her, she gave it to him.
Yeah. It was a trigger.
That red flag in her triggered something that allowed her to be eliminated before the show got started.
Yeah.
And I think what happens in your quest to find anything in life, you have to notice the red flags in your life. You got to notice that I'm not going to freak out over the red flag and they kind of embellished a little bit.
Yeah.
But I'm a sure freak out if he is a bit aggressive or she's a bit aggressive. Aggression will always cause someone to back up from you quickly.
Yes,
Don't
Lord.
let the red flags ruin something that could be great. So there's two levels of red flags. Yours and anyone else's you come in contact. Yeah, I see what you say. And it's not that I see what you say out of your mouth. Your actions are not lining up with what you spoke concerning me.
Yeah.
Got it? Got it?
You gotta know. You have to know. And again, like it's so many people when you start out. If you have certain things, and I thank God for the patience of my wife. Right? Some red flags you don't know you got.
No. Hold on, baby. Let's just reiterate that with you.
What?
I have patience with you.
Yeah, with me.
Hold on. Because
I say patience with my wife.
Well, hold on. Because I'm a patient person with you. I'm impatient with buffoonery. Let me tell you something. You got to learn who to give your patience to because everybody ain't worth it.
Yes.
Peace is very expensive. Pay every penny, baby.
Yeah.
Because you're a very patient man too.
Yeah.
So it's just reciprocal.
Yeah.
But when you dealing with a lie, I
Yeah.
ain't no patient. When you dealing with a swindle and a cheat, no, baby, you better not have patience.
Yeah.
You better get that. You better put a pin in that fast.
And and this is what we're both saying. We have patience concerning one another because the value of what we have together is so much higher. So from the beginning, I lift my wife up.
Got it.
Even before I called her my wife before.
Before we even got married.
Boy, look at here. It's it. Because when you know something, you lift it up and you lift that person up. You're able to deal with it. If it is real, you're able to deal with it and able to get through anything.
Right.
But you have to be able to know what you're dealing with. I think in a lot of situations, people are dealing with incompatibility.
Right.
And that's going to be something I'm going to be dealing with because I think people try to come together that you are not compatible with. This is another thing. I want to say this.
Go ahead, baby.
When you get 40, you 40, 50, when you get to that, you're in your second stage, right? You are into a second phase. You had relationships in the past. You're in the second phase. If a person is stuck in who they were and not really ready to become or ready to transition for other people or for that other person, you ain't gonna make, you gonna always have red flags because you're still stuck in the old personality. I also think that there's a time when you come together with somebody new and you may be caught on a red flag, and honestly, you just ain't ready to grow. You're stuck in your old ways.
Right. So you saying the red flags sometimes is being just stuck in your own
Stuck
ways.
in your own
Now that's a
ways.
good one because nobody's ever thought
Stuck
about
in
that
your
or even
own
said
ways.
that. That's
Can
good.
I, and I want to make this example. My wife, my wife is excited. I'm not that excited. I just, I'm charismatic in a way that if I'm preaching, I may be in the charismatic moment. If I'm in music, I may be in it. But most of the time,
Yeah.
my wife is, she is there.
Yeah.
She wakes up happy. She wakes up there. She wakes up on 100. Now, this is the thing. If you're not ready to transition into the oneness with another person because you're stuck in your own ways, you're not just stuck in your own ways, you're stuck in your own way.
Wow.
So you ain't ready to change. Now, what happened is us coming together gave me new life because I was able to pull from that instead of fight against it. Sometimes you fighting against what you need to transition into.
Wow. And so what you said is your old way is in your way.
Your
Your
old
old
ways
ways
is
are
in
in your
your way
way. And so if you're not willing to transition, I think the bad thing about it, watch these red flags where someone is trying to force you to
to
become
become.
who they want you
Yes,
to
Lord.
be. That's a red flag.
Yeah.
And no, and I'm telling you, that's a red flag. 9 times out of 10, you better watch what they say. They mean that when they say, well,
Yeah.
I don't like you. I want you to look like this. I want you to. No, if someone wants to transition and become better, that's a
Yeah.
different thing. But if you want somebody to change, here you go. You're going to start
I'm
that real quick.
sorry.
When you start that, go and
I ain't
say,
gonna speak in
Selah.
tongues. I'm
Yeah,
I'm
he
a
is.
hold on.
No, you ain't.
I'm a hold my mule.
No, you ain't gonna hold your mule. Selah. It's coming. Selah. You know how you do. But you gotta watch it. It's a red flags when you got somebody always talking about your weight, what you look like. I want you to look like this. I want you to do this. Now, I believe that a woman should reinvent herself all the time. I've always been a woman to reinvent myself. I could be a blonde today, a brunette later, Rapunzel the next day, Kojak the next, so Grace Jones. I believe in reinventing my look for my husband. But it's never a time where he says, I want you to look like that. As a wife or someone in a relationship, I will ask him, babe, what do you think about this? Or is there anything specifically you want to see me in? Is there any way specifically you want me to represent? And likewise, he. However, if you are with someone, they keep picking at your weight, picking at the size of your breath, picking at,
Telling you what kind of color fingernail polish to put on.
ain't that it, baby? I'm telling you, and so you got to be careful because that's a person that is never going to change their ways, but they want you to change
Yeah.
yours. And it's
Yeah.
not right. It's controlling. That's a red flag that nobody pays attention to. Then they turn around and say, because I need you to do this, I need you to do that. Well, I need you to do A, B, C, and D. Are you willing to do that? Understand the compromise. Red flags never want to compromise.
Never.
Never. And so I see what you mean. I see what you say. And people say stuff. Now here's another red flag. Someone said, I ain't pay attention at all. Latrice Ryan, I got you. Listen to this. Here's another red flag. Click tag and share someone. Another red flag that no one pays attention to is a condescending tone.
Ooh.
That's a red flag, ain't it? Condescending is a red flag that waves every time. And you think because they said it in a very nice vernacular that it's not painful, but it still has the same powerful punch as a loud voice.
You gotta watch how you speak to one another.
You sure do.
No one wants to be spoken into
Yeah.
a way where they feel like they're being insulted
That's
or
right.
feel like they're dumb.
Yeah.
No, nobody wants that. You gotta watch that. And
Yeah.
sometimes people really don't know how they sound. In pastoring for 14 years, I've seen people that had personalities that was just sandpaper.
Yeah. Yeah.
They just had a sandpaper
Sure
personality.
did. All day.
And everything came out of their mouth, no matter how they tried to say it or no matter how nice, it sounded like they was putting other people down. It just did not work well.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It did not work well.
Yep, that's a red flag.
But I will say this because even in, like I said, in pastoring them, I tried to get them to see that you don't just say that that's you.
Yeah.
If I'm
Yeah,
if
yeah,
if
yeah.
if I'm mindful that I keep scratching. My wife say, "What? You keep scratching me? Well, you keep scratching me. You keep scratching me. I can't keep saying what. Well, baby, that's just me.
Right. Or just
No,
won't you just
no.
move?
Right. You
Yeah.
can't. You can't. You have to adjust. And one of the words that I want you all to catch is, especially you in your 40s, you in your early 40s, late 40s, 50s, you still got to be able to adjust. Realize without me getting deep and spiritual that the Bible says that the Lord renews himself daily. There's something in that. You got to, I don't go there. But there's something, I have to always be able to wake up with a new mindset to be able to see how I need to move, what I need to move, what I need to change.
Come on, Bishop.
You make me sick.
I love you too.
You see how she be picking at me, y'all?
I just think it's so cute because I just know when you go into this place, it's just, I'm trying to bring you back.
I love you too.
We're going to tell you one more thing before we get out of here. Be mindful of this. Whenever you're involved with anybody, I don't care if you're in a relationship, a friendship, or whatever it is, be very mindful of people who won't acknowledge that they do have flags that are flawed.
That's good, baby.
Flawed flags are necessary. Flawed flags are necessary. That means that I know that I'm waving them, but I'm not going to acknowledge that I was the one that had it.
Ooh.
You have to say, I'm flawed. My flags are flawed. It's not meant for you to accept flags from them or you.
Yeah.
Because flags are flawed. They're meant to be flawed. They wave for a reason. Flags wave for a reason. And no matter what season you come into them, it is you to decide, am I going to take the flag and refold it? Or am I going to take the flag and say, this is not working for me right now?
Yeah. Or are you just going to say, this me?
Yeah.
This way that
no, you don't have to accept the flag.
You don't have to, and you don't have to accept it. But I will say that to people that you keep dating.
Yeah.
Or you keep getting into relationships.
I say fellowship.
Or you keep
The book
keep
says,
fellowshipping.
Yeah, the book says fellowship.
But you keep getting the same word from different people. You have to decide whether you're just gonna let that be you. And if they can't deal with me, that's just because that was some of the things we saw. People keep saying the same. Yeah. If people keep saying
the same thing, point, baby, is you. That's what it is. If people keep saying the same thing, then it's you. You are the red flag. And I need everybody to identify their flags. You are the red flag. Period. You're the red flag. You can't. I heard this one joker say something. He said, I don't have to change. I just have to change partners.
And they mean that.
What?
And they mean that. And I'm gonna tell you what that person. They're gonna find somebody that will submit to all
their demands.
They're gonna find somebody that's gonna submit to their toxicity. They're gonna find to all their toxic. They're gonna find somebody, and that's what happens, and that's where incompatibility comes in at.
I bind up boo-boo the fool.
Come on, bind up that.
You gotta know boo-boo the fool.
You have to know that. Stop looking at a person on the outward.
No.
Everything pretty is not pretty. Everything handsome ain't handsome. Everything fine. You gonna hook up with some beautiful mess, and you gonna stick with it because it looks like what you wanted to look like, but in the inside is corrupted.
I call it beautiful monsters and handsome hate. That's what I call them. And so, I am the author of the Angry Black Woman. I am the author of A Needle in a Haystack, Finding Love in the Rubble. And I teach you guys to take notes in your book. You gotta take notes in your books. You gotta take notes.
Do your homework, man.
Do your homework for crying out loud. Don't nobody want to do homework, but everybody want to pass.
Yeah, right. You need to, after you come off one of your fellowship,
fellowship, right. Fellowship is, I ain't like what this joker said. And then you sit up there saying, well, he said, he said. People say a whole lot of stuff.
Right.
He said. Yeah. No, I see what you say. Yeah. And it wasn't that at all. Because you certainly, someone said, what book? It's called A Needle in a Haystack. It's on Amazon. He said that we was in love. We was in a relationship. He said, let me give y'all something before we go out of here. if you are involved with anybody and you have an understanding about what you're in,
Yeah.
there is a test that I am going to give you. What, Baba?
Go ahead, baby.
You got my back, don't you?
I do got your back, but obviously, please don't say no litmus test.
You can't watch that show no more. That's it. We turn it off. You addicted to that show.
I am.
You really got
my daughter Dylan got me into this dog. Look, she got me watching
You
these
are
shows.
addicted to this
Look,
show.
and look, I got all kind of shows I used to watch. I ain't been looking at none of them.
He is addicted to put a ring on it and looking for love and ready for love.
But I guess I learned so much because I was never in that world, and it just blows my mind of how crazy people really are.
Crazy people want to be in love too. So, like I was saying before, Fred.
I'm sorry, baby. Tell them about your test.
No, that's all right, because you sure told them about the litmus test, because they want to know what that is now.
Yeah.
So go and tell them. I know my test is in the book, but tell them about
No, tell them about the test, baby. Tell them about your test. That is not what they need.
The test is this. If you are with anyone who wants lip service and say we in a relationship and we're together, take a picture of that person that gave you lip service and load it up on Facebook or social media.
Ooh.
You will see what type of relationship you really in.
Slow down, baby. You got to say that slow.
I'm going to say it again because by 12 o'clock, it's ready.
We got it.
I want you to give a test. The test is. If someone says you're in a relationship and you both agree you're in a relationship, or if they say you and I are together, I love you, you and I, we rocking, yada, 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 you my only one, whatever, take a picture of y'all like this and load that sucker up on Facebook, and you will see what type of relationship y'all really in. And that's why you got to watch what people say, because you know what? I see what you say.
Social media don't lie.
And it wasn't the truth anyway. It was a red flag that I should have saw in your actions instead of seeing the red flag with my ears. We got to get out of here. I'll see y'all tomorrow morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Your time all over the world. It's Thursday. We fasted to 12 o'clock, which means now fast is over. Y'all can consume whatever it is that you want to eat today. Please understand, today, I love you. My husband and I, we love you. Set your notifications on YouTube and subscribe on wherever you got to do. But just be here, because tomorrow we coming.
And be looking for my baby on Instagram.
Amen. Oh, Lord Jesus, you too. God's man on deck.
God's Man on Deck, Thursday at 7 p.m.
So,
it's just a little.
All right, y'all. We love you. We'll see y'all. Y'all better be in church. Be in church on Sunday.
Bye.
Be in church on Sunday. Not Sunday. You gotta say Sunday.
Sunday.
Like the old folks. They
Sunday.
say Sunday.
Sunday.
Be in church on Sunday. All right. Bless you. Bye-bye. It's my time, baby. I gotta do this right here.
Go ahead. Don't do it real quick.
I need a piece of paper.
Okay.